If you had to describe language in a word, would you choose a tool or something different? Do you think language is more than a tool? One day I was looking for similarities between English and languages that come from Latin. It took me some days until I arrived at the conclusion during a language class. I was in a French class when I exclaimed, "Everything is connected." And my teacher agreed with me. As of that moment, I am looking for different links between words. You could probably wonder why it is so important, or at least it could sound a little strange. I will not be surprised because sometimes we think that words make part of a language that is just a tool for communicating with others, and that's all. We aren't used to thinking about the importance of the elements that allow communication. And for me, it is due to complexity. In essence, people around me were saying that etymology wasn't useful for anything. My hope was dissipating when one night I was browsing the internet in order to find an answer to my questions concerning language, especially etymology. In fact, I prefer to say the origin of words because in that way you can better feel the historical roots. I was not getting effective results, therefore I decided to write in some words how I felt about that. The marvelous origin of words. I felt unmotivated since I thought I wouldn't find any results or answers. When unexpectedly I found La maravillosa historia de las palabras, análisis y reflexiones para contribuir al entendimiento del idioma español, which means the wonderful history of words, analysis and reflections to contribute to the understanding of the Spanish language. A book written by a Mexican psychologist named Luis Felipe El Sahili. At that moment, I felt shocked. I couldn't believe that there was a person thinking of that and feeling passionate about this topic in a similar way. Through that book, I had the possibility of connecting with the thoughts of an author who is passionate about etymology. It was a meaningful experience for me because the origin of words could take a different place in my life. While reading each section, I could read and immerse myself in a little field only devoted to that word and its friends. I mean, other words connected to it. I think it was the perfect atmosphere for sharing, in some way, the passion about exploring different connections between words. According to the author of that book, studying the origin of words could help us preserve the collective truths through language that are only revealed through the study of etymology. It could even give us advice or report about different points of view. There is a quote that talks about the fact of having the same opinion. During a conversation, for example, if you always agree, there is probably a person who is not thinking. Therefore, dialogue is a way to allow building ideas and developing them. It is a space where you could take an amount of resources that could be useful for sharing your idea and modifying it. It is important because I figured out that the problem is that I didn't find a way to share my interest with others. It was difficult for me to find a real utility for people because I thought it was a simple and very personal passion. I think it has a big quantity of benefits that could influence our lives and abilities. For example, by knowing the origin of words, we could know the development of that word, so we make a historical walk. And further than adding significance to the word, it is useful for learning to build new things or simply visualizing the change and dynamism of language. It provides and creates a different way of thinking where things are not completely fixed. they could change in a positive way. So it could help us to be more flexible. It also increases our ability to learn foreign languages. I would love to share with you the origin of the Spanish word recordar, which means remember. That word is composed by the prefix re, which means repetition, again, and the idea of being back. And also the element cordar, which is related to heart. That means that when you remember something or someone, it is brought back to your heart. Thank you.